Ever heard the saying, a soft answer turns away wrath? Today we're diving into a powerful story from ancient Israel that shows just how true this is. Meet Abigail, a woman known for her intelligence and beauty. She's married to a man named Nabal, who is incredibly wealthy but just as foolish and harsh. And then there's David, a young warrior and future king, living as a fugitive in the wilderness with his loyal band of men. The story kicks off in the desert of Paran. David and his men have been a shield for Nabal's shepherds, protecting them and their flocks from harm. Not a single sheep went missing on their watch. So when it came time for Nabal's sheep-shearing festival, a time of great celebration and feasting, David thought it was only fair to ask for a little hospitality. He sent 10 of his young men to politely request some provisions. But Nabal, true to his name, which means fool, didn't just refuse. He hurled insults at them, asking, "Who's this David? Who's this son of Jesse?" He dismissed David as just another runaway servant and sent his men away empty-handed and humiliated. When David heard how his men were treated, his patience snapped. The disrespect was a declaration of war fueled by righteous anger. David strapped on his sword and commanded for 100 of his warriors to follow him. He swore an oath that by morning, not a single male in Nabal's household would be left alive. The stage was set for a massacre. But one of Nabal's servants, knowing the disaster that was coming, ran to Abigail. He told her everything, how David's men had protected them and how her foolish husband had repaid their kindness with insults. Abigail didn't panic or hesitate. She acted fast. She gathered bread, wine, sheep, and other supplies, loaded them on donkeys, and rode out to meet David. Without even telling her husband, she found David and his men on the path. Marching towards her home, Abigail dismounted, bowed to the ground before him, and delivered one of the most brilliant speeches ever recorded. She took all the blame upon herself, pleaded for her husband's life, and wisely reminded David of his higher calling. She urged him not to stain his hands with needless bloodshed, which would surely tarnish his future reign as king. She appealed to his faith and his destiny. Her words, humility, and wisdom were like water on a raging fire. David's anger melted away. He was deeply moved, not just by her beauty, but by her incredible insight. He praised her for her good judgment and thanked God for sending her to stop him from doing something. And he would have regretted forever. He accepted her gifts and sent her home in peace. When Abigail returned, she found Nabal feasting like a king, completely drunk and oblivious to the danger he had been in. She waited until the next morning when he was sober to tell him what had happened. The shock of how close he came to death was too much. The Bible says his heart failed him, and about 10 days later, he died. When David heard the news, he recognized it as divine justice. He then sent for the wise and beautiful Abigail, not as a prize of war, but to become his honored wife. This incredible story shows how one person's wisdom and quick thinking can avert a catastrophe and change the course of history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.